So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. My name is Vishnudat, and today we will be talking about one of the most interesting course I ever taught, and the name is Job Security in AI era. Sorry. So, why I'm calling it most interesting because I just had a webinar on this course. I mean, yesterday only, and the webinar was only of 54 minutes, but the questions I got after that were 1 hour long. People showed a lot of interest in this topic, and I was thinking that technological people who understand technology, why would they want to learn job security? But believe me, and why would they want to learn job security from me, right? But people have showed great interest. Thank you so much for showing up today, right? I will leave the agenda for now. Let's leave it. But I promise you, once we are done with today's class, right, something interesting will be happening in your mind. If you're thinking that AI is something which is going to disrupt the job market, you are thinking right. If you're thinking AI is something which is going to be problem for many network engineers, for many IT people, for many other people also, if we consider the job perspective only, you are also right. But I just want to promise one thing. At the end of this class, you will have a little less fear, right, with respect to this AI and its disruption. Because we fear with somebody or with someone which we don't know about it. And believe me, we will try to learn as much as possible, right, with respect to AI. And this is the whole sole agenda of today's class. So I would like to talk about my characters first. We have two characters here. If you are regular in my courses, you all know that we always teach from characters, right? And if you see, we have characters. We have Rahul and we have Anjali right here. I think आप सभी ने नाम तो सुना ही होगा. If you don't, that's perfectly fine. So Anjali and Rahul works in an IT company, and they are 10 years experienced guys. Believe me, right? Rahul is working as a network engineer. He is champion in creating the networks. He is really hardworking. He knows his work very well. He is skillful worker. From last 10 years, he is performing very good in his field. If we talk about Anjali, Anjali is a project manager, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter from which field. They might be tester, they might be product development manager, or maybe they can be anything, right? I'm just taking example of two guys here. I'm a network engineer. That's why I'm taking example of network engineer, but it could be the story of any two guys in IT field. If we talk about Anjali, Anjali is a project manager, very good in her work. If you give her any project, she is going to deliver on time with the greatest quality, right? So the point is both are skillful worker, both are knowledge worker. And there is a discussion going on between them. And it's a intense discussion, by the way. So yesterday evening, you can say they both met. And if you see the face of Mr. Rahul, Rahul is a little bit confused right now. Okay. And Rahul is saying that Anjali, I have been worried for almost 2 weeks. And I have been having sleepless nights also. And Anjali is saying, what's the issue? Mr. Rahul said, I have been hearing lots and lots of news of AI disruption. AI is everywhere. If I open a newspaper, I see news about AI, and then I see news about layoffs. If I open LinkedIn, I see news about layoffs. And I'm not sure this is because of the algorithm or something. If I see a lot of layoff news, I am getting a lot of layoff news everywhere. I'm not sure what is happening to me, right? And recently, I have heard about news of Oracle also. And the people got mail at 6 a.m. in the morning, although they get a good package also. But 6 a.m. in the morning, it was kind of brutal. When people wake up, they saw the mail of laid off, right? And sometime I wake up early in the morning to see that, right? And that's why I'm having lots and lots of sleepless night. And Anjali said, okay. And this worried Rahul a lot. He's saying that I just talked regarding my problem. By the way, they both are very good friends. And Rahul is saying, I just talk, I just told everything about me, what is going in my mind. And your answer was okay. And Anjali is saying, believe me, Rahul, if you had told me this thing 6 months back, I would have panicked. But I don't panic now. And Rahul is asking why. Yeah, I can see you are so calm. Why? What is the reason? And Anjali said she did something different. She did something different 6 months back. She took interview of industry's leader. She talked to her parents. She talked to her grandparents who have the experience of such thing, who have the experience of getting laid off in their life, although she find less people. And that is why she took help of 3 books or 3 to 4 books also, right? She read them. And now she is little bit less worried about the current situation. And Rahul said, what exactly you read it? And Anjali is saying, Rahul, you have a fear of something which you do not know. If by chance, if you know thing, if you just go deep down, right, your fear will also be little less. And that is what I am doing right now. And Rahul is saying that why don't you share all of your insights from last 6 months? And Anjali is saying, I can't share everything in just 4 or 5 minutes, right? Whatever I've learned over the period of 6 months, I can't just share in just 4 or 5 minutes. And Rahul is saying that, okay, then what is the solution? Anjali is saying, if you give me your next 45 minutes with complete attention without seeing your mobile phone, and I know you have a habit of seeing your mobile phone every 2 minutes, every 3 minutes. If you concentrate for next 45 minutes, I am 100% sure that I will be able to remove that fear from your mind, right? And Rahul is saying, okay, 100%, my 45 minutes are yours, right? And that is what I'm asking you guys. If you give me your next 45 minutes, by the way, right? If you are thinking, if you have some fear of AI disruption in your mind, that is going to be little less for sure. This is what I promised in the beginning of this class too, right? Just 45 minutes, complete attention. And if you want to add something to the situation, because this is not the technology class, right? This course is not going to be technology intensive. Maybe in the last 3 or 4 chapter, we will be talking about AI, different things in AI. But apart from that, this course is not going to be too much technical. And that is where I want your input. Whatever is going through your mind, right? Just share it. We all are network engineers. We all are maybe IT workers. Whatever is coming to your mind, just raise your hand. It is not always going to be the question, and I am 100% sure. It is not going always to be the question. Whatever is coming to your mind, anything which you want to share, you can share. Now, Anjali is saying, give me a 45 minutes. Rahul was ready for it. And Anjali is telling that I want to take you to 260 years back in history. I'm not going further in time. I am also taking you in distance too, further in distance too, right? The meaning is Anjali is talking about 260 years back, right? She right now in India, and she is talking about England 260 years back. What was happening in an England village? And now last, is this any relevance to our current topic or discussion, whatever is going on? And now Anjali is saying 100% don't worry about it. I will connect the dots. But you have to understand this, that 260 years back in England, something happened which will blow your mind. Okay, so let's go. Let's see what Anjali wants to say to Mr. Rahul, right? Okay, so sorry for this. Let me go here. Yeah. So what is happening here? If you see, we are into the village in England, and we are talking about 1760, almost 260 years back. There is a family there, right? The, the family person, this guy, although it is irrelevant to the course, but still, let's give him a name, and the name is Thompson, right? Thompson has a family. He has a beautiful wife. He has 2 kids. Along with that, he has a beautiful house, right? He lives in a beautiful village. Everything is fine. He earned well. And if you're curious about 1760, the time, almost 260 years from now, what would be the livelihood looks like then, right? What was the business? Is this guy is doing job? Is this guy is doing something else? Then you are thinking in right direction. I am saying these guys were prosperous. These guys were good. They were earning good. They were living good, right? And if I talk about Thompson, Thompson is a skillful man. I'm talking about a skill which was very, very, uh, which was which was everywhere in England. I'm talking about a market which is known as textile market, and inside this textile market, people did a business of clothes, right? And this guy was producing highest quality clothing. He take the raw materials like wool, like threads, like cotton, and create high quality clothes at that moment. And the clothing industry, the textile industry, was one of the biggest industry at that moment. If we talk about 1760, it is the case in England. It was the case in India too. If I give you a rough estimation, right? If we talk about 250 to 260 years back, India was exporting around 25% of the cloth of all world. 25% is huge, guys, right? One of the largest business, one of the biggest business, the clothing industry. Why I'm talking about it? I'm talking about that skill is something which was very important, which was the livelihood for Mr. Thompson. As simple as that, right? The skill is that basically what should be the thread look like? What should be the tension of this thread? But exactly the pattern he want to build, he was master of it. And there was many weavers, right? And such person is known as a weaver, by the way, who created these clothes. There were many other weavers also lived in this village, some nearby village. Why? Because the industry was big. If you take the same example from the current era, VIT people are like that. If you take an example of Bangalore, out of 10 Bangalorean house, almost 6 houses or 5 houses are of IT people, no doubt about it, right? Similarly, because this industry was the biggest at that moment, if we talk about England, India, out of 10 houses, we see 3 to 4 houses of weavers or maybe 5 houses of weaver, right? Overall, the the takeaway from this board is we have Mr. Thompson family, very good family, earning their livelihood, very skillful man, right? And everything was going fine. But if I want to take you inside his house, how exactly he was preparing the clothing, you will really find it interesting. If I go inside his house in a particular room, he has a machine there. This machine, this machine is known as handloom, right? Why we are calling it handloom? Because it was using the power of hands and sometimes legs of Mr. Thompson, right? This was not an automatic machine. This was not running on power. Everything has to do, means Mr. Thompson produced these clothes manually with his hands, with his legs, right? Everything was manual at that moment. But this is what the tool he had to earn his livelihood. As simple as that. If I talk about once again the skill which he possessed, right? The weaving skill. The weaving was his identity, was his pride, was his livelihood, everything. Just remember these three words, right? And if we talk about in current era also, if I am a network engineer, if I am a project manager, I am an IT worker, this is my identity. I always say to people that I have maybe 19 years of experience as a network engineer. I build network. This is my identity, right? And sometimes this is my pride also, because I have created many networks, and so you did, right? You just so you have. I'm 100% sure, right? The overall point is that everything was going great at that moment. But I would like to tell you the business. How come this guy got the business, right? It is not the case that if you're skillful, everything means you get the business. No, there was certain things happening in England at that moment, right? So we have Mr. Merchant here. Every 15 days, this merchant comes to Mr. Thompson. He delivered the raw material. What is the raw material? The raw material was wool. And by the way, don't worry, I will be connecting all the dots to the today's world, right? But for connecting the dot, the first thing we need to collect the dots. And that is what I am doing right now, collecting the dots. Okay. So Mr. Merchant came every 15 days to Mr. Thompson. He provided all the raw materials like wool to Thompson and said, I will be coming in next 15-20 days. Please create cloth, right? Quality cloth out of it. And what this merchant is going to do, he will take the cloth, he will sell it to the market and get the money. And this is how Mr. Thompson got his money. And this is how Mr. Thompson earned his livelihood. As simple as that, right? Things were working great during the time, and you can see a happy village, right? You can see a happy village right here. People are talking, kids were playing. Why? Because everything was going good. Everybody has a small business in their house. And by the way, this business was known as with the name cottage industry, right? And here are the beautiful things about this cottage industry. You don't have a pressure. Means if we talk about Mr. Thompson, he didn't have a pressure. He knows that after 15 days, Mr. Merchant will come and he will deliver the cloth, but he has 15 days for that. Maybe he can do all this work in 4 days by spending 14 hours, or maybe he can do 5 hours of work every day. He can take the help of his wife, kids, as simple as that. But everything was in control of Mr. Thompson. He did whatever he want. He did whenever he want, as simple as that, right? And if you compare it with today's culture, it is also work from home always, right? Because he has set up a handloom inside his house, right, where he was building the clothes. Okay. So sometime if the evening is good, he would go for walk with his family. Sometime if some relative has come, some friend has come, he would spend time also with them. Life was easy, life was beautiful, right? But now what I'm going to do, I will be introducing some problem in this life. And you must be thinking, Mr. Vishnu, why? See, I am not including the problem. I am not inserting the problem. I am just telling you what happened in the past. And don't worry, I will be connecting everything, right? And by the way, you can relate this situation to 4 or 5 years back, right? We got the work, we got the deadline, we have the time, we are working from home. Everything in the IT field was just like this Weaver life, right? Although you cannot compare 760 years back with current time, because today's world we have lots and lots of facilities which were not there, right, in 1760. But the people were happy then, people are happy now. If we talk about 3 or 4 years back, even now, right? As simple as that. But something interesting happened, right? Mr. Thompson were waiting for the merchant this time, but he didn't come. It's been 1 month now, merchant didn't come. He waited, and now it's 2 months, guys. Merchant didn't come. If merchant is not coming, Mr. Thompson, will not get the wool, the raw material to build the cloth, right? If that is the case, he won't get his livelihood. If that is the case, it's a problem. So where is the merchant, guys? Merchant is gone, right? Mr. Thompson went to nearby villages, to the neighbors, but he couldn't find where the merchant is. But something interesting was happening around 60 kilometers from this village, and that something interesting was machines. Somebody has developed machines. Very, very interesting, guys. These machines were producing clothes like anything. And whatever Mr. Thompson used to do in 15 days, this machine did in just 1 day. The quality was also good. I am not saying it is as good as Mr. Thompson worked, but yeah, it is good. Machine was building, machine was were producing the clothes, right? And then someone smart came and he said that I will be putting all these machines into a place, and I will name them as a factory. And these are the factories where tons of clothing were coming out, because now these machines can run day and night without human labor, because at that moment steam engine came, which provide the power for these machines, right? And now it's been 3 months, merchant didn't come. So Mr. Thompson went to see the world, what is happening around, and he found this. He found a place which is known as factory here, where many other people are working. You can see kids were working, although the situation is not good of this factory, by the way, guys. But Mr. Thompson found the merchant right here with this raw material. He's going to give the raw material to this factory, and he will take out the cloth, not after 15 days, maybe within 1 day, 2 days, right? Because these guys were producing like anything, and these guys were saying, even you don't need to give us the raw material. We will arrange that. You just come, take the cloth, go and sell them, and earn your livelihood. And by seeing this, Mr. Thompson was stunned, right? The ground was shifted for him. He saw a mass production of clothing. The problem of this factory is that the people were working 14 hours. Here, even kids were working, right? It's a problem. And the biggest problem was that Mr. Thompson, was not getting any work. Machine came and it changed Mr. Thompson's life forever. Believe me, at that moment, there were 250,000 people in England who were doing weaving work. It's the biggest industry at that point, right? And this something different happened at that moment. So Rahul is saying, Anjali, you told me a story and it is looking like a sad end. It is not helping at all. Why did you do that? And Anjali is saying, no, it is not a sad end, because the story, we haven't completed the story till yet. Story will go on. We will talk about these 250,000 people, the weavers, what happened to them, right? And don't you think that the current situation is looking nearly like this, right? I'm not saying this is going to happen, because history doesn't represent the future, right? It is not guaranteed that whatever has happened in the history, it is going to it will happen in the future, but definitely we can learn from it. And Mr. Rahul, everybody here, we can learn from the history, right? So the next board, if I show you, it will take you to Mr. Thompson family after 3 to 4 months, because he didn't have any money, and that is why the situation was worse, right? And that is why we have Mr. Thompson, which was broken now, right? But we need to study what exactly happened. And this is the story of Mr. Thompson. There were 250,000 more people like him, right? You want to study them more. And why we are studying them? We are studying them because we want to learn that out of these 250 people, everybody is not going to have the future like him. Maybe some were winners, some were loser. Maybe somebody came out as totally different person, right? And that is what Anjali is saying, that Mr. Rahul, we can't say that whatever happened in past is going to happen in future, but history is actually the study of change. We can study it. And we can learn under bad situation, when the ground are moving under people, right? How human behave. If we study that, and what behavior resulted into a winning behavior, if we can learn it, then we can come out of any situation. And now Mr. Rahul is saying, oh, that's why you are so calm now, because you understand the human behavior, right? Because you study the human behavior when the ground moves under them, when the problems came. And Anjali is saying, exactly, right? Over the last 6 months, after interviewing many leaders, after reading few books, right, I have come into this conclusion, right, that under tremendous pressure, when the ground were moving under people, right, it is the behavior, how they react, made them winner. And I am going to tell you that what were those people who came out as a winner and what are the people who lost this battle. So what Anjali is doing, Anjali is saying there were 250,000 people, 250,000 viewers. Because of the machine, everybody was impacted, right? And this is what is happening right now. You just need to replace Mr. Thompson with any IT engineer, right? And you just need to replace machine with artificial intelligence or AI. Right? This is what people are facing right now. Many industries are busy in laying off, restructuring, and maybe some other name, right? I'm not saying this is going to happen to everybody. No, this is not the intention. The intention was not to generate fear in you. The intention is to make you ready so that you are prepared for any situation, right? This is the whole sole intent. So what I'm going to do, see the situation of 270 years back, right? It is not one-to-one mapping to now, means 2026. But if you replace Thomson with IT guy and machine with AI, then we are a little bit closer to this situation, right? So what Anjali did, Anjali has came up with 5 group of people out of this 250. I'm not saying that these 5 group has 50,000 each. No, right? But she want to define 5 different categories of weavers, right? Some of them came out as a winner and some of them were loser. And you will be amazed to see this category. And I just want to tell you that please try to relate in which category you are. Okay, so we will be moving to the next board where we will be talking about what happened to all these viewers, because this is directly related to your mindset right now, right? So there were 5 categories as I mentioned. Category number 1, which you see right here, these group of people I named as waiters, right? What is the meaning of it? They wait. They love to wait. They were waiting that government will come to their rescue. Government will make policies. Government will make rules so that these machines will not take our livelihood. Government will stop the machine. There will be definitely a new law which will come for sure. And we will be carrying the same thing which was happening before. Merchant will come, it will give the rules, and we will be doing our skillful work. As simple as that. But do you think that it is going to happen? Right? And believe me, history says it did happen, right? But not immediately. And if you hear the timeline, you will be stunned. It started in 760, but the government and the rules and the policies came in 1840, almost 80 years back, guys. 80 years, right? And those were the policies like that no kid is going to work. Maybe 14 hours should be less to maybe 8 hours, and so on, whatever you see. The labor laws, which we're talking about. But none of the government said that no, we can't let machine inside, right? We can't let machine to disrupt the job of weavers. No, it didn't happen, right? I would never like myself to be in the category number 1. But if you talk to people around, many of them are going to say, don't worry, nothing is going to happen. Government will come for the rescue. If AI is going to do all the work, then government has to come, right? But believe me, it leads us to no action, because if we are waiting, we are not doing anything. And no action in itself a decision, by the way, right? And it's a bad decision. And as a result, history says, and I'm not saying it is going to be in the future, but we are learning from history. So I would definitely not want to be in category number 1. Let's talk about category number 2 now, right? Category number 2 is totally different category, right? He has a hammer in his hand. What exactly he's doing? He's saying, I will not let machine come and ruin my job, right? And ruin my business. I'm a weaver. I know that the machines are bad for me. I'm going to destroy them. I'm going to break it. And they created a big community of people. They created their own army. It's a biggest revolution. It's one of the biggest revolution happened at that time. But do you think that these people didn't get the technology? No, they were the skillful weaver. They understood very well that the machines are going to destroy them, how machine work, right? These were the people who were going to the factory owners and asking them, please do not let us work 14 hours a day, sorry, 14 hours a day. Do not let kid inside the factory. Situations are bad. The intentions of these people are really, really good, right? What they did, but the factory owner didn't agree to their terms, and that what they did, they formed an army. They went into the factories in the night. They broke many machines, and at that moment, factory owners had a great fear of these guys, right? These people were known with the name Luddites. If you see the real meaning of Luddites, these were the people who means the dictionary says the people who or the person who is afraid of technology. But do you think these guys were afraid of technology? No, they understood the technology well. They got it the first place. The machine came, right? They understood how machine worked. They understood it's going to destroy their work. By the way, government crushed this movement. They called the army to crush this movement, right? And government created the law that anybody who is going to break this machine has to face death penalty. Really, really interesting, right, guys? They didn't create law for child labor, but they created law for machine breaking. Again, all the intentions were right, right? But is not the case. But what is missing from these people? These people were good, means they had the good community, but they were powerless. They were no, they were not in politics. They didn't have much money, right? That is why the movement was crushed. Nothing came out of it. And believe me, I really don't want to be in this category too. Let's talk about category number 3. If we talk about this category, these are the designers of these machines, right? If something happened to these machine, they can troubleshoot it, they can fix it. These are the guys who loves physics. These are the guys who loves mathematics. These are the guys who were born scientists, you can say, right? And if you compare them with today's era, right? These are the guys who are working right now in Anthropic. These are the guys who are working currently in OpenAI, maybe Google, maybe Meta, right? Maybe in Perplexity. I am not able to pronounce. Perplexity. Yeah, right. Interesting. Now, can we be like them? I'm 100% sure that people who really love mathematics, really love the other concepts, right? Who are thinking how to design machine algorithms, right? For example, the people who are working in these companies, what exactly they are doing? They are developing machine learning algorithms. They are developing deep learning algorithms. They are actually building large language models, right? Can we also be into the category number 3? And they are the highest paid guys in current time, right? This is correct in 1762 guys, right? These people who were designing were getting enormous amount of money, right? The core people. Now the problem is that this kind of jobs are all over the world are kind of 50,000, right? The entry ticket for these jobs is really, really costly. Why? Because you need to spend a lot of time. I tried doing this. Means previously I was thinking that let's make everybody this guy, and that's why I started my machine learning course, where we discuss algorithms too, where we discuss mathematics. But believe me, I don't think that this could solve the problem, because here we are talking about 50,000 jobs, and the jobs at risk are maybe in millions, right? If we talk about guy number 4, this is somebody who took anything, whatever came to their way. He went to the factory, he asked for the work, and the factory owner gave him 14 hours of work, 6 days a week, right? With almost 1 by 6 of the wages, or 1 by 6 of the whatever he was earning previously as a skilled weaver. Try to think, 1 by 6, right? He was doing any odd job, whatever comes to his way, because he has to feed his family. He had no time to wait for the right opportunities because he had no money, as simple as that. And I definitely do not want to be into this category also. If we talk about number 5, this is my favorite. And this is on which this whole course is based on, right? If we talk about number 5, he is the guy who can wait. But interestingly, he's not waiting for the government policies to come. He is waiting for the right opportunities, right? But you must be wondering, Mr. Vishnu, why can't this number four can wait? Because he didn't have any money, right? Whatever he earned during his good time, he just spent. He didn't have anything. But this guy, number five category, he saved. He was saving when the time was good. He didn't know for what purpose he's saving, but he saved, right? He had runway, means if he didn't get anything from the merchant, if he didn't get anything from his previous skill, which was weaving, he can still be there for maybe a couple of years, maybe 3 years, right? He saved well. He was the one who built human networks. What is the meaning? He is very good in making relationship. He is very good in social engagement. The merchant who used to come into his house, right? He knows him and he knows him well, right? He knows other merchant also. Any opportunity which was coming to the factory, I'm not saying the opportunity of any odd job, no. So, enjoying learning? If you have reached till this point of the video, I think you are enjoying learning, and I just do not want to waste your time. I would like to say that if you want to see this complete course, this course is available on my website, which is www.bridgewhy.com. Please have a look at it. And along with this course, there are so many other courses available. If you want to start your networking journey from the beginning, from the scratch, or if you are a seasoned networking engineer, please have a look at this website. So you can see here is my website. The link of this website is also available on the description area just below this video. Thank you so much and enjoy learning, right? Any opportunity which is a good opportunity, for example, supervisor, manager, or anything, right? He used to heard about this opportunity way prior to other guys. Why? Because he had the good connections, right, with the people. And because he's a skillful worker, he knows, right? For example, here he can be a quality manager because he himself is a good weaver, right? Really, this guy was a continuous learner also. He is not like the one that I will always be in weaving. If some different opportunity come, I will change my whole career, right? This is how this guy was. He is a continuous learner. And learning can only happen if you have saved money for long. For example, if you want to change this complete line, maybe he needs 2 years, right? Without earning, and that can be possible only if you save. Guys, whatever I'm talking about, these are one of the most important skills which people are not talking about, right? For example, by the way, this machine revolution, whatever happening, it's known as industrial revolution. It can change the life of many people, including these we were 250,000 people, but it brought some prosperity also. When machines were creating or producing the goods, right? When machines were producing the goods, we have to take these goods to all over the country. And that is why new industries came, like railway industry, right? These machines were dependent on the steam engine. Steam was produced by burning coals, and this coal industry was flourishing. And try to understand, these are the huge industries. The people like number four category, they work in this coal factories, right? At minimum wages, railway at minimum wages. But the people who were in category five, they made themselves skillful because they had that buffer, they had that time to make them skillful again in some different thing. And that is why they got into the good position in railways, in coal industry, and many other industries which came out because they were able to wait, right? Really interesting. Number three kind of people were actually the entry ticket is very costly. You have to spend a lot of time and a lot of skills, right? And you can do that if you love those mathematics and physics concepts, right? If you have that brain of a scientist or the engineer, right? Which thinks in the direction of mathematics. Number five is somebody where we are targeting this course, believe me, right? Guys, it's been already 45 minutes. If you have any doubt till yet, if you want to add anything, because this is just the story I'm talking, right? There is no technical concept here. So I am sure that there is no question, but if you want to add something, you can raise your hand, because this is the course where I want your input. We are making a community here, right? We want ourselves to be number 5 or number 3, whatever you want, but number 5 is the one which we may choose in the long run. I even do not know what is the kind of a nature of job in future, because we do not know what are the industries which will come after AI revolution, right? And what is the transition phase is going to be, because we know that 2026 is going to be difficult for IT engineer. It is happening right now, 2027. How much this transition period is going to be when this old job will go and we are going to get hard time in the new jobs, right? But we could be number 5. We can wait for the right opportunities, right? If we have that kind of buffer. So overall, if I closely talk about number 3 and number 5, you have to decide. You have to choose, right? As I mentioned, entry ticket for this is little costly in terms of efforts. And if you can make your effort of 3 or 4 years, and if you have that kind of brain which love mathematics, then definitely number 3 is a choice. But definitely the whole sole idea of this course is to make you number 5 for sure, right? The guy who can have that runway so that he can take informed decision, so that he can wait for the right opportunities. The guy who can create human network, the guy who can learn new skills, right, regularly. Okay. So overall, this is the whole sole point. And if we talk about again and discuss about the current situation, it is going to be mind blowing. Believe me. What is happening here? Rahul is still confused, but he is okay. He understood one thing right now. After all this story, whatever Miss Anjali said, Rahul is saying that okay, I agree that whatever has happened, and I would like to be category 5 person for sure, right? And I 100% agree on one thing, that whatever I am going through right now, it is not the first case. It's not the first time it is happening. It has happened many times in past. And Anjali just told you one story which happened 260 years back. But believe me, guys, it happened again and again in history. It happened more than 10 times. There were more than 10 technological advancement happened. I mean, we were talking about industrial revolution, the computer revolution happened. That so many things happened, right? But now Anjali is saying that yes, there were many technological advancement happened in past, but I have researched that this one, whichever is happening right now, it is kind of a different. And Rahul is again confused. He's asking, what is the meaning of different? It is different, right? Anjali is saying to consider the revolution which we talked about. It happened because of the steam engine, right, Rahul? And Rahul said, yes. What exactly steam engine did? It enhanced the capability of human being. It it make them more strengthful. Why? Because previously the handlooms were dependent on the manual labor, maybe 6 or 8 hours a day. But these machines can run day and night, Rahul. There is no doubt about it, because of the steam engine. Because the power now is supplied by a steam engine, not by humans, right? So what steam engine did? They actually enhanced the strength of human being, right? But it affect only weavers and some other industries at that moment. But believe me, the other guys like lawyers at that moment, doctors, teachers, priests, and many more were unaffected, totally unaffected, right? Steam engine produce effect on weavers. If we talk about calculator, which is again the major revolution which happened, what exactly it did, it enhances human arithmetic power, addition, subtraction. And believe me, there was a place like New York Stock Exchange where there was a lot of humans which were doing this calculation manually before calculators, right? We call them human computers. They were very good in calculation, but this innovation, this technological advancements replaced all of them, right? But again, those attacked only human computers. But that moment also, software engineers, lawyers, doctors, and anybody, they were doing well. As simple as that. If you talk about the computers, when the computers come, right? What computers did? They developed different softwares, right? Maybe the banking software they developed. If we talk about this banking software, it impacted few lives, but it generated few jobs more, right? It created so many software in different field in impact, but it created so many other things, right? I'm not sure what AI is going to do, but whatever has happened previously, they have impacted a narrow field. Steam engine, weavers, calculator, human computer, software to specific fields, right? But this time, whatever is happening is little different. And I'm going to tell you why. Whatever there was happening, right, previously, those were rule based. And try to put more concentration here, guys. What is the meaning of rule? If we talk about calculator, 4 plus 5 is always result into 9. No doubt about it. If we talk about a software, suppose if we talk about a banking software, we can write a code that if a particular customer is having less than 10,000 balance, we have to fine him for 100 rupees. It's very, very unique. Sorry, not unique. It is very, very deterministic. It is very, very rule based. We can write a rule and it's done. But suppose to the same bank, if we have a mail from a specific customer that, guys, I am your regular customer. My salary come into your bank, and he has written this mail that last month I have a problem in the banking statement, and it is forcing me to look some other options. I would like to go with the other bank because there is a mistake, right? This is the email, and for that kind of email, there is a human in bank who can read this mail, who can analyze this email, who can think, who can take his or her judgment and can write back to this email. Do you think any program, any software, any rule-based thing can do that? No, 100% no. You cannot understand the context of this email, right? Means if you're a human, you can, but you cannot if you are a software for sure, right? Why? The reason is, see, the word bank has two meaning. It could be the bank of a river, or it could be a real bank where you submit your deposit your money. What is the context? Human understand that concept, right? And that is why anything which has involved in past writing, judgment, and reading, maybe analysis also. These are the jobs which were never impacted by these narrow technologies which came in past. That is why lawyer, doctor, teachers, price, they all were doing their job. But if we talk about AI, and it's very, very interesting thing, AI can read, AI can make it, AI can understand the context, understand the language, AI can write. Very, very interesting. So whatever the job needed these things, it is going to be impacted this time. What is going to be impact? Means less impact, more impact, we can see in future. Nobody knows, right? But this was never happened in history. History was basically rule based. Whatever, if it's a calculator, it's solving the arithmetic problem, disturb the life of human computers. Software disturbed anything which is rule based, right? But AI is disturbing anything which is dependent on writing, judgment, and reading. And by the way, most of the jobs, if you say tutor or teacher, right? Then lawyer, software engineer, and so many others, right? People does this. If that is the case, this is something which is different. Guys, if you want to add anything, if you go guys didn't get something out of it, because we need to understand that AI is something different, right? It has challenged many other areas also, not the single one. So it is not the case that the IT jobs are at risk, maybe other are also at risk. Very interesting discussion, very intense discussion between Anjali and Rahul. And Rahul is saying, okay, but your number 5 category people will work in this case also. And Anjali is saying absolutely 100% it's going to be. And I can explain you with this example, right? So the example is, uh, by the way, whatever I explained in the previous board, right now I am just showcasing you what exactly happened. If this is the steam engine, when it was invented, people, handloom industry, the weavers were impacted. But if you see a teacher, a doctor, and maybe a lawyer or maybe somebody, like, they were never got impacted. If we talk about calculators, human computers were replaced, teachers, lawyer, and doctors were safe. If we talk about accounting software or computers design software, some people got impacted, but not everybody. But if you talk about AI today, you need to understand the difference between what exactly is different in this wave, right? This is impacting everybody: school teacher, translator, marketing professional, customer service agent. By the way, in India, many BPOs are gone now, right? Writer, the content writer, the doctor, the lawyer, the software engineer, everybody, right? But I'm again saying, remember category 5 people, they can emerge from any situation. They can come as a winner from any situation. And I'll prove it to you. For example, what happened in 1997, right? And you must be thinking, Mr. Vishnu, there were many things happened in 1997. If we talk about one special event, this guy is Gary Kasparov, the grandmaster, the world champion, right? Who has defeated almost everybody in chess. But he got defeated by a computer, I think Blue, I forgot the name, I always forget the name, right? This computer was able to defeat Mr. Gary Kasparov, Grandmaster, and everybody said at that moment, chess is gone now, right? But these guys did an interesting experiment. Just 2 more minutes, guys. These guys did a very, very interesting experiment. In this experiment, what happened? We took a normal human being who understood, who know chess, and normal computer who understand chess, right? This combination defeated this computer, Blue Ocean. Deep Blue or Blue Ocean, I'm not, I'm forgetting the name, right? So this combination of mediocre human who understand chess and mediocre computer, it defeated the Blue Ocean. And interestingly, the human plus computer combination also defeated Garry Kasparov, right? These combinations matter a lot. And that is what Anjali's point is. If you combine the power of AI with human, which is the whole soul agenda of this course, guys, right? You can be a winner. People were saying, no, we cannot miss computer. Machines won, right? Nothing is going to happen chess. This combination is invincible, right? And that is what something known as with Centaur, right? The whole soul aim is to have people in this category who were very good in savings or personal finance, number one, who created the human network, who were a continuous learner. These are the human skill. This is something which is very, very interesting. But what exactly is this? This is again a picture from the history, right? If you combine the power of horse with human brain or mind, right? This is amazing combination. If you see it, still the cars have power in horsepower, right? The power of the machine, or although it's an animal now, right? Because it's way from the history, and combined with the human brain, it is really, really good. This human brain, if this human has these capabilities, then this combination is going to be great, right? The Centaur. The overall theme, overall agenda of the whatever the upcoming classes we will be having, we will be making ourselves, or I will be helping you, right, with your help, of course, so that we all fits into the category number 5, so that we are prepared for any situation. If you guys have any doubt, any question, please do ask. Otherwise, I am going to break my course as I do for all the courses. Although this course is not going to be technical, maybe in the last 3 or 4 classes, where we'll be talking about AI literacy, we will be a little technical. But now, if I break this job security in AI area, what exactly it is resulting into? It is resulting into three things. Number one, number two, number three. Number one is going to be saving and personal finance. And you can ask me, Mr. Vishnu, you are a network engineer, how you are going to talk about saving and personal finance. It is what I love, right? It is what I read about. It is what I have done for myself. And it is going to be a network engineer or an engineer to engineer thing. How I did it for me, I am ready to share with you guys, right? And it's going to be very, very interesting. If we talk about AI literacy, this is where you'll be talking about what AI can do, what AI cannot do, what is the power of AI. And in AI literacy, we will be talking about the different LLMs and other things, right? Don't worry about it. Why I am going to do this along with so that we have basic understanding of AI. This is AI for everyone. Although there are two upcoming courses also where we'll be going a little bit deeper, agentic AI, these LLMs, how do they work? Definitely we will be doing that, right? The third portion is the soft skills. Basically, how to read. And you must be thinking, Mr. Vishnu, we all know. Believe me, I learned how to read, how to understand after 35 years, right? When I was 35-year old. Before that, I did my 12 years in school, 4 years in engineering, 2 years in masters. But believe me, I didn't know how to read, how to learn, which I learned recently. This is what I'm going to tell you. The time management, how to make human networks, right? And that continuous education or continuous learner thing. This is going to be the soft skills, which we are going to talk about. So if we combine all these things, believe me, we will be more closer to number 5 category people. Just try to understand what is number 5 category. Very, very important. So of course, my favorite, we'll be talking about saving and personal finance from tomorrow, but I would like to give you one exercise, one basic exercise for you, right? Now you can see that there is a smile on Mr. Rahul's face. No doubt about it. Because now Rahul understand I am not the first one in the history who is facing the problem. It has happened again and again, and if it has happened, then I can learn from them for sure, right? And that is why the confidence is up. Because if you are not alone, it feels something interesting. It generates something interesting in you that if it is happening, it has happened previously also, I can do it right. I can learn from the mistakes. I can learn from the history. And I would be somebody who is in that category 5. And Anjali is saying, okay, that's fine. Now we are into the same stage, means I have shared whatever I have learned from last 4 to 5 months. Now you also know that, right? If I talk about a simple question to you, Mr. Rahul. Suppose you are earning well, you are doing good, everything is going fine, you have a job. Consider that something different happened to you, and that different is bad. If you lose your job tomorrow, try to understand the question, guys. This is for everybody, for me also, right? Talk to your partners, talk to your friends, right? Open your bank statement. And the question is very, very simple. If you lose your job tomorrow, till how many months? I'm talking about months. You can live the same lifestyle which you have, which you are living right now. And by the way, it should include everything, whatever the EMIs, responsibilities you have, right? Kids' school fees you have, other maybe whatever the retail or the stuff you buy for living, right? Maid, car, electricity, everything, right? If it is not, means if your job is not there tomorrow, till how many months you can survive with the same lifestyle without asking money for anybody else? Because if you're asking money for someone, then you are already broke. The intention was not to make you confused, right? The intention is just simple. I just want you to put in a mind frame which think about the situations, right? And I'm hoping, I know that it's 100% be the case that none of us has to go into this situation. But it is always better to plan. If you consider two categories of people, one who planned for the situation and the other one who didn't plan, then definitely the plan one would win in any case for sure, right? Again, simple question. If you lose your job tomorrow, how many months of runway you have? How many months you can live the same lifestyle? Just think about it before the next class, because we will be talking this thing in next class. Having said that, this is what I have in my mind. By the way, guys, Hindi class had a lot of questions, a lot of inputs. Anybody who want to open up here? Anybody who want to? It means it is not necessary that it's going to be a question. Anything which you would like to add. Okay, at least tell me, am I audible, guys? Anyone, please?
Yes, you
Yeah,
are.
I
Yes,
can.
sir.
Okay, so it's sure
Uh,
that I am audible. Anybody who would like to provide their input, maybe.
so, like,
Mhm.
how can someone know that if it belongs to like three or five, or he can juggle between three or five, or he should try for three or should try for five?
Yeah, if you are in that category, na number three. So if I give you the cleanest answer here, I tried with that, right? The machine learning course where I explain algorithms, where I explain how exactly the AI works, right, behind the scene. If you get interest in that, if you like to work with the algorithms, if you like to work with the mathematics, right, then definitely you are in a category three for sure. But if mathematics is something which you are afraid of, if designing something new is something which you are afraid of, then you are definitely not that kind of person, right? And that is why I'm talking more about category number five, because I'm not saying that you cannot be number three. 100% you can be, but the entry ticket is too much there. You have to spend too much time, right? Here you are building on top of whatever you are right now. Dibyenduji, sorry, Debiji, is it making sense?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Dibyendu Roy, please ask your question. Please go ahead.
Just I need to ask if, which job will be affected more specifically, like software developer or anything in IT industry.
I would say, see, it is really interesting question, and if I give you an answer, uh, for example, if I consider my job role, right? I am a network engineer from last 19 years, right? If I give you my profile work, what exactly I do, and I have explained this in webinar also. So
Okay.
basically, I have some customers. The number one thing, I go to the customer, I collect the requirements. Right? This is my SRD document, which is requirement document, solution requirement document. Then what I did, on the basis of this requirement, I create high level design of the network. Then from this, I create low level design with the help of people also. And from this, basically, I test, maybe in case of migration come into picture. And this is what the cycle is, right? Then I deliver the network to the customer. This is what I do. But believe me, all this work, almost this one, including little part of this also, is automated. So 90% of my work is automated, right? But this thing, which is more human in nature, go to the customer, collect the requirement, right? And then if this HLD is created, then see whether this HLD by the system, then see whether it's created correctly or not, then LLD, and this all is by responsibility. So I would not say 90%, maybe say 70% of my work, because I still have to see what exactly AI has generated, right? So it is not the case that all 70% job has been gone, right? My 70% work is automated. It means that, what do you think? Maybe many network engineer jobs are going to be impacted, because previously, if I am handling, right, say 10 customers, I can handle maybe 30 customers now. If I am handling 30 customers, then other two guys who were having these two customers will be gone, right? because AI has increased my efficiency. This is what exactly going on. So it is not the case that it is going to be one to one, means AI come and it is going to remove all software developers or maybe 30% of the software developers, because it is not replacing the complete software developer. It is not replacing the complete network engineers now, because there are still some human skills. There are still some skills which cannot be done by AI in this current world, right? Similarly, if you take the software development engineer also, maybe I can automate 60% of work, right? It means that it is not able to replace the 40% what software developer engineers does right now, but overall impact is going to be there for sure. So it is not going to replace one to one, means just remove it, but because it has increased the efficiency, that is why the job loss is going to be there. Am I making sense, Dibyenduji?
Yes, I got it.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Mm.
Any other questions, guy? Whatever is coming. It is not even the question. Means if you are agree with me, see, if you see this content, whatever I have delivered you, if you see this class, you will not find 100% this on internet, right? The stories, the kind of five guys I am talking about, because it is totally built from my perceptions, from my reading of books, from my reading plus AI knowledge, right? So again, I am talking about, it is from my experience, whatever I am teaching you. If you have anything to add, please do add, and it is going to make, I will be really thankful to you. So we have to, and thank you so much. Rajshekharanji, please go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah. So the shell scripting and Ansible, those things came in 2012, and why can't they didn't mature like this?
Why can't they did mature? Maybe something else will do the same job and we do not need them. For example, see, right now, means I have made a video and you have to see that. Right now, what exactly happened? We have a product. Suppose this is a SD-WAN controller, suppose, right? And I can develop a program which use the APIs of this controller to get some data. For example, I want to see how many sites are there in this network of this controller. I can ask the question using the API, maybe through the program, and it can give me. But for that, we need a knowledgeable person here who can write this program well, right? This is what your many things in Ansible, many things in Python are doing, the scripting is doing, right? But now people are saying that there is something different coming, right? We have this controller, and on the top of this controller, we can write something which is known as MCP server, right? And now this guy doesn't need to know anything of the controller, right? Maybe he doesn't need to know the Ansible, he doesn't need to know the scripting. He can just type here simple things. What are the different sites of this customer network? It is going to reply that there are with 5 sites and these are working in hub and spoke technology in the simple human words, guys, right? It is not the case that the advancement will happen only in Ansible. If you see, there are different modules which will come into the Ansible. There are many modules which come into the Python, the new modules, right? And this is their technological advancement. What if something comes which totally disrupt it like MCP? Am I making any sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Sangeeta ji, please ask your question.
Yeah, only one input, only not a question.
Please go
Can you
ahead.
share? Yeah.
Yeah, please do share.
Okay, one thing like nowadays, because technology is changing every day.
Mhm.
So nowadays, like what, like it's not about others, it's about me also, and it's about everyone. Like we are spending a lot of money, like in buying expensive clothes, and everybody just want to take iPhone. Okay, and that is worth of 1 lakh or 2 lakh rupees.
Haha.
Okay, expensive cars as well. But we people are not concentrating. Like we can spend thousands of rupees in learning new technologies. Let us suppose you have read 4 books, then you are delivering your knowledge to everyone. So if we will do ourselves, so we will have to put a lot of efforts, okay, and time as well.
Yep.
If so my say, because there was one my teacher and he used to say every time like we should spend our money monthly or after quarterly for learning new things as well. If we just want to do certification, if let us suppose we are spending thousands of rupees in 1 year, but we can get at least advantage of 1 lakh rupees also, like our salary can increase to 1 lakh monthly as well if we are spending our continuously our money few thousand rupees in learning new things. Nowadays, like there are a lot of teachers who are delivering like trainings like as you are delivering.
Mhm.
So it's about it's not so expensive nowadays, like, and that used to be earlier. So I would like to say to everyone, like, we should spend our money in learning new things so that we can survive later on. Even after investing few thousand rupees, we can get lakhs of advantage also in our salary. So this is the only my opinion.
No,
Yeah.
this is
Thank you.
great input, Sangeeta ji, and there is what, see, generally, I mean, it's happening with me from last 5 to 6 years. When I started teaching people, then I understood how to read, right? And if I give
Correct.
my personal opinion, then reading or learning something new. I'm not saying every day, right? Maybe you take a month time, but in that month, if you are spending 5 or 6 days in learning new things, and if you have a habit of that, this habit you can means it is going to be really great in upcoming time also. See, I've been taking an interview to one of my friend, and generally he listen to my classes, and maybe he will be listening this, and he's one of my close friend. So right
Okay.
now he is in China. He is building the flying cars, right? He was in my group only, but he's kind of a designer. So
Hmm.
he we did engineering together, but he
Okay.
was a designer. Means when we sit in a restaurant also, he just used to take a tissue paper and was drawing a car or something, and then later on he become one of the best designer also. Means he work in the Cadillac, BMW. Now he's in China and building the flying cars, and
Oh.
he was in
Hmm.
the first webinar also when we attended. So after the webinar he sent me his note,
Okay.
which he written 18 years back. So this guy has a habit of writing also, and I
Okay.
was so impressed that that day he was kind of a crush. Means his project was something which got delayed or something, whatever he was created. And he has written there that if I want to do anything in my life, which is good,
Hmm.
right? I need to be learner for lifelong. I need to manage my time. Right? And most of the
Correct.
things have been taken means after talking to him, after talking to many person. But there are some people who are inspiration to me. He is one of them. So if I can be a lifelong learner, then I can do anything. And right now, see, he was in US, he was in China. I have
Hmm.
never seen him saying that something is coming which can destroy my work, because he knows he is somebody who is irreplaceable. Although he has created this with the help of these LLMs, almost 40% of what he does, but he's 100% sure that nothing is going to replace that 60% of mine, which I learn mostly. And I'm a continuous learner. So whatever you are saying, 100% right, and it goes with whatever the conversation I had a few days back. It's a real story, by the way. I can send that little letter of him also in the group after his permission, by the way. But thank you so much, Sangeeta ji. We should spend really in learning also, so that it can give us the returns in future.
Right.
And it is also aligned to my business also if people spend money in in learning. And thank you so much for that.
Thank
Madhu, you can ask a question, Madhu Chokka, or maybe if you want to have any input. Madhu,
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Vishnuji.
hello, sir. Yeah.
Hi. Hi. So, Vishnuji, I have two questions.
Mhm.
Number one, right? This AI, when it started, right? In the sense, at least from the time I'm hearing, it's been almost an year and a half. Okay.
Mhm.
And the disruption it has created is very huge. In a sense, like we hear different terminologies across different timelines, across different divisions, right? Like I have heard terms like LLMs, and then I have heard RAGs, agentic AIs, MCPs. Like there are different things going on in different ways or different fashion, right?
Mhm.
So just trying to understand, like in our sessions, which means what you'll be conducting, right, in the next few days or weeks or months ahead.
Mhm.
So from where we start and where up to which point we'll go. That's one question which I wanted to understand.
Yeah. So
The
shall I
reason,
answer this one first, and or shall you
yeah,
go ahead with the second?
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, you
Let's
can.
complete this one. So this is good, actually. Thank you so much for asking. So we have a complete plan, right? But we are beginning. We are starting with the baby steps, right? As I mentioned, the category 5 people are always the winner in almost all the disruption, whatever happened, right? So we will be talking about first thing, some soft skills and
Okay.
personal finance, which I talked about, right? Then we will talk
Yeah.
about AI literacy, means the terms which you are thinking, what the RAG, right? what exactly the meaning, LLM, what exactly the meaning of them, right? Not in terms of bookish language. We will try to understand the fundamental behind them, why they are coming into picture. I'm not going into the algorithms in this complete 2 or 3 courses, right? Because that will make you ready for the type 3, and I'm not sure how many of us are ready for that. If you are ready for this 3 also, just have a look at my machine learning course. It is very, very interesting. It will tell you whether you are kind of a third guy or fifth guy, right? So definitely whatever the terms
Yeah.
you are saying, we will be completing them in this course, right? So 11 or maybe 10 to 11 classes or 9 to 10 classes are there. I'm not sure, whatever it takes, but we will be learning this in the course number 1. If you talk about course number 2, we will be going a little bit into detail of AI learning, right? Machine learning, AI, what exactly it does, how exactly LLMs work behind the scene, their fundamentals, or whatever the new terminology you are saying. Once we have that kind of knowledge, what I'm trying to do here is to build my own clone. So for example, somebody is an HR, somebody is a software engineer, somebody is a teacher, somebody is something. They can build something like agent of themselves, right? So that they can do 40 to 50% of work of them, right? This is basically called as agentic AI. I see the AI world is changing so quickly that it can be possible that when we finish this, something new has come. But in this process, see, the important thing is not to learn anything specific, although agentic AI is something which we should learn now, right? But
Yeah.
the whole sole point of these 3 courses is that we should know how to learn. We should understand the process of learning itself. If that is done, then today, if it is agentic AI, or maybe tomorrow it is something XYZ, or maybe day after it is something else, we should be able to do that. So the whole sole idea is to be into the category number 5 by going through these 3 different courses. Madhuji,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
is it
Got that,
making
G.
sense? Yeah.
So
The second
yeah,
question,
it definitely
yeah, or if you want to add
makes
something,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah. The reason why I was asking that specifically is what you said is right. I mean, it's changing time to time.
Yeah.
1 month there was one new term which is being heard of, and in the second month, third month, it's going to a different term, and the pace with which things are moving, right?
Mhm.
It's creating more confusions than clarity.
Yeah.
To be
I
honest, I mean, and
mhm.
yeah, carry on, Vishnuji.
No,
Sorry.
I do agree with you. Actually, over the internet, over the places, because there are so many guys, we have lots and lots of information, and I'm not saying that every information is wrong. There are some tremendous guys on internet too, right? But the problem is there
Yeah.
is too much of content, and sometimes too
Right.
much of content is really really harmful, which I'm feeling, and that is why. See, I had an option to go on YouTube, to go on other places to learn something, but I I chose the traditional ways, right? But with use of AI, that what should I read, how should I read, everything, and that's why I came across something unique, something different here. So the point here is, I am not denying whatever you are saying, 100% right. Too much content, too much information, which is which is really really difficult to process. But I will make my every effort that whatever I know, whatever I am getting, whatever the insight I have after taking interviews of many people, I'll try to make this blur or hazy path a little bit clear for you guys, for sure.
Yeah, that would really help, G. Thank you so much for that.
Perfect, Madhu.
Because I
Uh,
think most
mhm.
of our most us, I think, are working professionals, right? And you know how hectic the IT world really is,
Yeah,
and we have very less time to upskill ourselves, considering the work frame and all. So, if there are courses which will align with the time which we are investing, that would really help.
yeah.
And we believe in you for that reason. That's the reason I think most of us have
Yeah.
this
Thank you
question,
so
right?
much. Thank you so much, Madhuji. And be with me for upcoming 3 or 4 classes. Just be there for the questions also, right? Whatever the question I asked. I would say that this is not going to be a course which is majorly on technology, but it is going to make your mindset for sure. So whatever the question I have asked guys in this class, what happens if you lose something, right? If you lose your job right now, it is for everybody. It's for me also. And you do not need to tell me, right? Just have this thing in your mind. How many months of runway how many months of money you have so that you can live the same life. It is very, very important question in today's era. If this number is more, it's good for you. If it is less, we are here to make it a little bit big with some things which I did in my case. Definitely I will be helping you out. So any guys, anyone else, any doubt, any question? I think we are good. Thank you so much. I could still see people. Monday night, 10:33, right? And you are spending time. So I can understand this course is, or the first class has added some values in your life. I think let me see the questions in chat also. How could you share best book to learn AI and security in AI? How could you share? Okay. I got it. Definitely, I will see. And which job will be affected more? We have worked on that. Then Sangeeta ji had. Okay, this is good. I think we don't have much question there. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for being a patient listener here. Thank you so much for the wonderful audience you are, and thank you so much for your lovely question. See you in the next class. But come up with the answer of this question. Discuss with your friends. Discuss with your family members. Right today itself, and believe me, it will make you a little bit lighter if you write that number. Just writing that, because you have converted your problem, your anxiety into a number, and definitely we all are engineers. We can work with the numbers. Having said that, bye for now. See you in the next class. Bye, guys.